Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a beautiful piece of ancient wisdom, a whole story packed into just a few Chinese characters.
It's a fascinating tale, really. It starts with a fire, but it ends with some fish. And the connection between them? Well, it's both surprising and, you might say, a little tragic.
So here it is, the full idiom. In Chinese, it's pronounced城门失火, yāngjí chíyú. And like all of these four-character idioms, it's so much more than just a phrase. It's a snapshot of a story, a whole lesson passed down through the centuries. Let's take a closer look, character by character. We'll start with the first one, Cheng. This character paints a picture, doesn't it? It's the city wall. You can almost feel it, this great boundary that protects a whole community. It's about safety, order, a world all its own. And the next character is Men, which means the gate. So this is the opening in that wall, right? It's the one place where people come and go. It's the city's connection to everything outside. Now, these next two characters, shīhuǒ, they work as a pair. Together, they mean a fire breaks out. So we've set the scene and introduced the crisis. There's a fire, and it's right at the city gate. Okay, so for the second half of the phrase, yāngjí chíyú.
Yeah, and this is where it gets interesting. It translates to something like, disaster reaches the fish in the pond. It's a totally different scene. Suddenly, we're not at the burning gate anymore. We're with these fish, just swimming around in their quiet world.
And that's really the heart of the puzzle this idiom gives us. You've got a fire at the city gate, and then you have fish in a pond. They seem like two completely separate things.
Right. How on earth could a disaster in one place affect the other? Well, the story behind the idiom explains everything.
So the story goes like this. A fire breaks out at the gate. It's chaos. People are rushing everywhere, desperately trying to put it out. And the closest source of water? It's the city moat, the very pond where the fish are living. So in their panic, the townspeople drain the moat completely to fight the fire. They manage to put the fire out, which is great. But when it's all over, the fish are just left there, stranded. They became victims of a crisis that had absolutely nothing to do with them. You know, what's really fascinating is that there's another version of this story floating around in history, a much more literal one.
Oh, that's right. In that version, there was a man named Chi Zhongyu, and his name sounded an awful lot like the words for pond fish. He just happened to live next to the city gate. When the fire broke out, it spread to his house, and he died. Just a terrible case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So you can see how both of these stories point to the same meaning we use today. When you say the city gate is on fire and the pondfish suffer, you're really talking about collateral damage.
Exactly. It's about that feeling of being harmed by something that seems totally unrelated to your life. You're just caught in the ripples of someone else's problem.
And I think the deeper wisdom here is all about connection. The story is a powerful reminder that nothing, and no one, really exists in total isolation.
That's so true. What looks like a faraway problem can actually have very direct and often really unexpected consequences for us.
This isn't just some ancient idea either. It's a timeless truth about how the world works. You see it in everything: economics, the environment, even just in our own personal lives. An action over here creates a ripple that's felt way over there.
And usually in ways no one saw coming. I mean, the fish had no idea their fate was tied to the city gate right up until the moment their entire world vanished.
So you could totally hear someone use this today. For example, maybe at work someone might say, "Our department was doing great, but we lost all our funding after the parent company announced layoffs." It was a classic case of the city gate catching fire and the fish in the pond suffering. It just perfectly captures that modern feeling of being caught up in events that are completely beyond your control.
Learn Chinese one story at a time.